There's an interesting thing that happens in our love life, and since I make videos for women on this channel, it will be about women, but this is obviously the same for men as well. The more we want something in our life, the harder we will probably work to get it. Our mind is programmed to do this. And that's a really good idea in many areas of life, but a really bad idea in our love life. If you ever want to win an Olympic gold medal, for example, well, chances are you will have to work pretty hard to get it. Relentlessly. If you want to build your own successful company or climb the corporate ladder really high, you'll have to work hard, relentlessly. You will have to eat, sleep, and breathe thinking about that thing you want. But in your love life, you might already have noticed that the more you chase after someone, the more you scare them away and the more restraining orders you eventually get. The more you eat, sleep, and breathe thinking about a man you really like, yeah, the more you will suffocate him, and most importantly, the less you will be able to enjoy your time and your relationship with him. It will drain the batteries of your phone because of all of the, "Ooh, has he texted me yet?" checks. But it will also drain your emotional batteries just as fast, of course. And your friends won't like it either, because when they ask, "How are you?" and you try to be honest, you'll have to say, "Yeah, not great." "Oh, why?" "Well, because I'm here with you and not with him. Might not be good for the friendship." So what if there was another way? Let's talk about the art of getting him by letting him go. If you don't know me yet, I'm an author. My real name is Geert. I also go by the pen name Brian Knox. And in our love life, the more we try to force something, the less it will work. When we try to control anything in life, we become uptight and we will be stressing our nervous system. When we do that in our love life, in our relationship, well, then we're also stressing the nervous system of the other person, who will be very happy to be with us then, because who doesn't love more drama in life? And we also come across as not being ourselves, of course. We will be the uptight and needy version of ourselves. Trying really hard doesn't work well in our love life. It's like trying to fall asleep. If you've ever done that, then you know that the harder you try to fall asleep, yeah, the less you will sleep, of course. Same goes when we're dating or are in a relationship. The harder we try to make someone like us more, the worse the results we will get. So many things out there on YouTube, articles, magazines are about things like how to give him a kiss he will never forget, where to touch him in a way he will never forget. And that's kind of tricky, because before you know it, you'll be putting a man on a pedestal that probably doesn't deserve to be there. So a better question than where to touch him is, of course, does he deserve to be touched? Especially there. Does he deserve all of that attention? Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're single, you don't just want any man, you don't even just want an attractive man, you want the right man for you. One that's compatible with you and with everything that makes you unique. Otherwise, in all honesty, it's better to get a cat or a hamster because they require less work. No, you want the right man. A man that the first time he wakes up next to you thinks, "Happy to be here." And that still thinks that 25 years later when he found out about everything that makes you, you. And, well, let's be honest, perhaps also a little bit weird. A man that loves to be there because the both of you are a match. And his weirdness, which we all have, of course, is compatible with yours. Easier said than done, of course. So that's why in this video I want to talk about the art of getting the right man by letting go. By not chasing, by not trying hard, by definitely not putting him on a pedestal, just by letting go. And you will see why this works so well, and not just to attract him, but to attract the right man for you specifically. The big issue, in my humble opinion, is that when we date on autopilot, we may be paying attention to the wrong things. Things that seem super important, but that are not that important in the long term. The man your body wants, the man you fall for, may not be the man you need. Let's be honest. When you're on a first date with a man, you're probably looking at things like, is there a lot of chemistry? Do I feel butterflies? Do I think that person is cute, attractive, tall enough? Do I like the way that person looks at me? Does he trim his nose hairs? Does his belt match his shoes? And other very superficial things. First, the bad news. Very few people in romantic relationships still feel a lot of chemistry and butterflies when the honeymoon period has passed. And that happens after a couple of months. The attractiveness remains somewhat important, but it will also change because we get used to it. It becomes less powerful. When our love interest touches us 6 months into the relationship, our heart won't skip a beat anymore. When we men come home after a long day and we see our long-term girlfriend or wife, our heart won't skip a beat anymore. Unless when we come home without milk and are asked, "Did you buy the groceries I put on the list, especially the milk?" And our mind goes, I was supposed to get groceries, there was a list, then our heart will skip many beats. So during those first couple of dates, we, men and women, usually don't look at things like, I'm an introvert. Does that person look like an introvert as well? Because I just like staying in during the weekend and watching a movie. But that person seems to party all the time. That might not be a good fit. By chasing after something, we get tunnel vision. We start to miss all of the important details, and we might even be chasing after the wrong person. So that's the biggest reason to just stop, to take our time, to not rush it. Again, the type of man you think you want, the type of man you usually fall for, may not be the type of man you need. So it's important to do some homework and to never rush into a relationship, because if you think getting into a relationship is hard, getting out of the wrong one is sometimes a lot harder. The second reason, if you've met a great guy and you keep texting him all the time, you keep asking him out all the time, doing things for him nonstop and so on, then you're taking something away from him. And that's the gift of having the space to desire you. We technically cannot strongly desire something or someone we already have in our arms. It's just not possible. The closer something or someone is to us, the less space there is, the less we can desire it. That's a law of nature. But when you let him go, and by that I mean when there's no constant contact, when you have other things to do at times that prevent you from seeing him or from immediately replying and so on, then that space, that time, is where his desire, his attraction, and his love for you can grow. Now, to finish this video, I'm not saying to pretend you don't like him or to play any kinds of games. I'm just saying to not rush it, to take your time, to not try hard to make him like you or to try to keep him close at all costs, to have that constant contact and so on. Because the harder we try to be loved in our love life, the worse the results we get. You might already have noticed that. I hope you enjoyed this video. There's more on brianknox.com or in my books on Amazon. Just type my pen name, Brian Knox, in the search box. As always, I want to thank you for still being here at the very end of this video. I love it when you do that, and I hope to see you in another one.